What does least mean? Not much, the lowest, okay? And then common, what does common mean?
Same.
The same, something that is the same. Yeah. And then this word, multiple.
More than one. More than, yeah.
Well, and then we're going to call it LCM. Multiple in math could mean more than one. But we used our multiples when we did long division. And we wrote them down the side. So what is a multiple? What did you call it when you were little? No, skip counting. You called it skip counting when you were little. But that's your multiples. So the multiples of 12 would be the answers to all the multiplication problems that have a 12 in them. So you're just going to skip count by 12s, okay? The multiples of 4 would be skip counting by 4, okay? And sometimes you're going to see this called least common denominator. But most of the time it's going to be called LCM, least common multiple, okay? Now, I want to show you on the very back of your page or on a blank page how this actually works, okay? So I've got a blank page ready to go here. You got a blank page ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we're just going to write LCM at the top. It stands for least common multiple, okay? And let's just say we have these two fractions. Are you ready? Okay. Now we're going to do a hard one here in a minute. But I'm just going to make up easy one for right now, okay? So let's say I have 3 twelfths and 5 18ths. I know. And I know that we've been doing this where we multiply these together, but boys and girls, that is turtle head multiplication. Do any of you want to do turtle head multiplication?
No.
Not me. If you did this, what answer would you get? Let's see. $2.16. I don't think I want $2.16 as my common denominator. Does anybody else want $2.16 as their common denominator? No. So we got to come up with a better way to do this. And that's where LCM comes in. It's actually working smarter, not harder. Now somebody in block 1 said they want to do this the easiest way possible and the fastest way possible. Anybody else agree? I do. Okay.
Who said that?
I think you're related to it, but I'm recording, so let's not say names, okay? Okay, so here's how I would do LCM. It's a sideways T-chart, but it kind of looks like a stick sword, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. So go ahead and write this, okay? And we're going to solve this in a minute, so we're going to need our 3 equal signs. So don't make it too long. They're back. Okay, so I'm going to take my 2 denominators that I know will multiply to be 216. And I'm going to figure out the lowest number they have in common. So I'm going to go 12 and 18 on my T-chart. And the reason I like this going across instead of, we usually do T-charts up and down, is because I like to, you'll see. So 12, 24, 36, 48. I'm not going to skip count all the way to 216. I don't have time for that. And I'm going to skip count by 18s. So 18 plus 18, what is it?
36.
And then add another 18 to that.
54.
54. And I don't have to go any further, actually, because I already have a common multiple. What is it?
36.
So this is why I like to do it on the side, because I like to circle it like that. I know. So 36, now remember I said we're going to work smarter, not harder, right? And we don't want to have to think too hard, so we want our numbers pretty small. Okay, so I have chosen 36 for my common denominator here. Now remember yesterday I taught you a new format?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's get it set up, but don't work ahead because something else is changing. When I don't multiply my denominators to find my common denominator, I can't just put in 12s and 18s. Because first of all, I don't want to multiply by 12 or 18. They're too big, right? And second of all, I didn't choose 216 for my denominator. So you've got to watch me. I'm going to take 3 12ths and copy it over, just like yesterday, and 5 18ths and copy it over. Okay? And then I've got to do some thinking. Can you think? Okay, 12 times what equals 36? I'm going to point with my pen. 12 times what equals 36? Well, I can just count over. What is it?
3.
3. So see how I didn't put the 18 there? Because that would give me a number that's way too big. Okay? So 18 times 12 would be way too big. Right? So 18 times what equals 36? And I can just count over. 2. So now 3 times 3, what's that?
9.
And 5 times 2, and I get 1936. And actually, that is my answer, because I cannot simplify it. Now, did you write all this? Okay. If we would have had 216 for the denominator, we would still be trying to figure out what the numerators were, because we would have to do probably more turtle head multiplication.
Too much.
Too much. So when I say work smarter, not harder, I mean we're going to find the lowest denominator we can. And we're going to use this T-chart method, and what are we calling it? Least common multiple. Okay, let's go back to the back page of your problem set. And we're going to do this problem 2 different ways. So I'm going to rewrite it over here. So find E. Okay. So I could multiply 4 times 6. But I want to do that new and improved way. Okay? So I don't have any room at the top, so I'm going to make my T-chart at the bottom. You with me? Okay. And what are my 2 denominators?
4 and 6.
4 and 6. So I'm going to skip count by 4s. I'm going to skip count by 6. Now, 24 is what it would be. So we're looking for a number lower than 24. Okay? So 4, 8. What comes next? 12, 16, 20. I'll stop there. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. Okay. Do you see a number they have in common that's smaller than 24? Jason, what is it?
18.
No.
Oh, 24. It's gotta be on both. 20. 12.
What is it?
12.
12. So I got to have it on the bottom and the top for it to be the number I choose. So should we choose a 12 here?
Yes.
Okay. So when you choose a 12, let's get the 12 written down so we don't forget. And don't work ahead on this one. So get this much done and put your pencil down, please. Okay, so you know how I've been just, if my denominator's a 4, I put 6's here? And if my denominator's a 6, I put 4's here? I can't do that on this one because this is not 24, it's 12. So I've got to stop and think. Rowan, help me out. 4 times what equals 12?
3.
And whatever I do to the bottom,
I'll do the top.
I have to do to the top. Okay? So, Zoe, help me out. 6 times what equals 12? So whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply 3 times 3, 5 times 2. That gives me 19 twelfths.
Wait a minute.
Now I'm not done because that's an improper fraction. Correct? So we got to make it into a mixed number. And I don't have room to write because, do you guys have room to write?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to take out 1 whole. What's 19 minus 12? So my answer is 1 whole and 7 twelfths. That's a mixed number, okay? Now that was working smarter. We chose a lower denominator, so life is simpler. Sound good? Okay. Now let's do it the other way. Okay? So we're going to do 4 times 6. What's that? Okay, we're going to choose 24. Because this isn't wrong. It's just going to have higher numbers. So get it all set up. And this time, if I've got a 4 here, can I write a 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I've got a 6 here, can I write a 4? Yeah. Did I add correctly?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I've got 38 24ths. That's an improper fraction. So take out 1 whole. Tony, what's 38 minus 24?
14.
14 24ths. So that gives me 1 whole and 14 24ths. But I'm not done because what's the answer supposed to be? 1 and 7 twelfths.
Oh, I know how to do that.
So how am I going to get to 7 twelfths on this? Any ideas? Okay, Nancy.
Divided by 2.
Divide it by 2. Now here's what kids always do. When they divide it by 2, they forget to put their whole number back on there. So divide by 2, write equals, then put your whole number. What's 14 divided by 2?
7.
What's 24 divided by 2?
12.
Now do I have the correct answer?
Yeah.
Okay. So neither one of these is better than the other. One of them you just don't have to simplify. See how I simplified it before I circled it? Over here I didn't have to do that because I chose my lowest common denominator. Okay? All right, so the first one on your exit ticket, you're going to have to make the same decision. Do I want to choose 12 and not simplify, or do I want to go with 24 and have to simplify? Now that one we did over here, to me that's a no-brainer. We're not going to use 216, right? Okay, so sometimes there's not really a choice to make. You don't really want to do it the other way. It's not smart, so we'll find the least common multiple. But sometimes, like on this one, really one of them is not better than the other. It's your choice. Okay, let's go down and look at number 2. So the second one on your exit ticket actually has 5 and 4. And it says, draw a picture, but we're not doing that, are we? Okay, so don't look at your exit ticket. Go down to number 2. So flip your paper back over. There we go. So Penny used 2/5 pounds of flour to bake a vanilla cake. She used another 3/4 pounds of flour to make a chocolate cake. These are some big cakes. Because I usually just put a couple cups in. And now we're using, yeah. So 2/5 plus 3/4. Let's take a look at that problem. Everybody write it down. Get your 3 equal signs. Yep. Now this one, you're going to get these memorized. Mrs. Lowry said when your denominators are 1 away from each other, you probably just want to multiply them together. Okay? So 5 times 4,
20.
so we're going to use 20. We don't have to do LCM on 5 and 4. We're just going to automatically know it's 20. Some of them are like that. Like 4 and 3, that's going to be 12. Okay, so get this set up. Yeah.
Sounds like one line or something. Or Dr. J.
Okay, so help me out here. Raise your hand if you want to answer. What number goes here? Okay, Javier.
40.
All right. And what number goes here? Kinsey?
5.
Okay. So what will I write here, Jason?
8.
Good. Somebody who hasn't. Cecil, what will I write here?
15.
And 8 plus 15, who wants to help me with that? Isai.
23.
23. So is that an improper fraction?
Yes.
All right, so it's going to be a mixed number. So I'm going to rewrite it. Whoops. I need to rewrite it correctly. And I'm going to decompose. Take out 1 whole. And 23 minus 20?
3.
3. So my answer, 1 and 3/20. Okay? So these 2 problems prepare you very well for your exit ticket. But I think before we do the exit ticket, let's do the ones on the front with a partner. Sound good? So I'm going to pause it while we do that.